Welcome to the closing table with the Money Guys, Sidney Young and Jared Parrish. This episode is being brought to you by Allura Financial, AlluraFinancial.com, your source for real estate investment funding. Now, presenting the Money Guys.
All right. It's Sidney Young.
And Jared Parrish.
This is closing table with the Money Guys. We're the Money Guys. We got
Yo Money.
Hey, this show's been brought to you by Allura Financial,
AlluraFinancial.com.
Check it out, man. We're broadcasting live from Houston, Texas,
Rawcasting.
downtown. Rawcasting from Houston, Texas, dog. Shit. We got so much going on. I'm excited.
We avoided that fictitious tropical storm that came in.
It's a joke, man.
I mean, there's a lot of people still without power right now.
Probably wasn't a joke for them.
No, it's not. No, it's not a joke for them at all.
Speaking of non-joking matters, I got to jump into it, dude. Me and Jared here.
You're about to say shit stick, weren't you? I know you are.
The Gilligan and Skipper here. You figure out which one's which.
Is that why you always call me little buddy?
We are in process of talking to now our local radio station here in Houston, broadcasts all over the place. A huge audience. We're talking, several 100,000 listeners. I've done tons of radio in Houston. Millions of listeners. Actually, in the greater Houston area, there's approximately 3.7 million population when you count the surrounding areas.
You just made that up, didn't you?
I did. It sounded pretty official, though, didn't it?
It does.
I should be a news reporter. Anyway.
Right? Well, you can probably bullshit as well as they can.
So. Yeah, so I can do that. But anyway, we're very soon going to be broadcasting live on the radio as well. So we're going to have the podcast and a local radio show.
Hell yeah.
The radio show is still going to be called The Closing Table with the Money Guys.
That's
we're
right.
The Money Guys.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about all types of different things, the same as we do here on the podcast.
I mean, typically revolving around.
Shing, shing. Oh, I thought you do the fart noise.
No.
Okay.
We don't talk about that.
But now I got to tell you, I'm going to reveal why we're doing this show on a Friday. Do you mind me? Mr. Smart Guy?
No, go ahead. By all means.
Mr. Smart Guy, who's got a degree in this computer crap, they sold him. Okay, we did a show yesterday just to find out.
Online degree, so it doesn't really work.
The show we did yesterday just to find out when we were done. Somehow it didn't work, right?
Hey, sometimes it just doesn't work the way you want it to.
So we're redoing the show today on Friday.
Yes, but the funny thing is that this guy does not remember the show from yesterday.
I've had so much happen. I tried my damnedest to remember what we talked about yesterday. I can't remember.
This way you're
going to have
fog
up there,
fresh response to what
one day I'm going to sit down and you're going to call my name and go, what are you talking about? Where am I?
Who? Me?
Somebody help me.
No, he's not home. Steve's not here, man.
No, we don't smoke dope in the office.
No.
Even though we wear cool glasses. All right, so today we're going to talk about what?
Today we are talking about the power of building your team.
Oh, shoot, that's what we talked about. I forgot about that.
That's what we talked about. So now building a team, it could be a partnership.
There's no I in team, remember that.
No, there's no me in team either. Wait.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
Remember the football days?
Right.
You thought you were shit back then, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't play football. They wanted me to. Didn't happen.
You could have been the frontline guy. What's he called?
The offensive lineman, defensive
lineman. There you
lineman?
go.
Yeah.
I don't.
You watch more sports than I do. You should know better than me.
I don't know.
So anyway, talking about building the power of building a team. I mean, it could be a business partnership that you have within your LLC, or if you're a fix and flipper, building your mastermind group is the way I like to put it.
There you go. I like that.
The mastermind group. So the question is, a lot of people say, well, I can do it all on my own. Can you do it alone? Absolutely. Absolutely you can. But to what extent? It's
always better with a partner.
Right? It's always better with someone else.
Can we do that on regular radio?
Yeah, as long as we don't curse.
Oh, we can't curse. Huh?
No.
They fine you a lot of money.
Yeah, and we're probably limited to certain sound effects.
We should probably tell them, here's an extra $5,000. Put that in the kitty.
Yeah, we already know that we're going to be breaking some rules.
Every time you ding us.
They're going to learn that kind of quick, ain't they? So as far as working alone, let's review some pros and cons, okay? So one of the nice things is to talk about the pros first with working alone. For one, you could do the work at your own pace. So you don't have someone else telling you to hurry up, do this, do that, do that. You're working for yourself. You're doing everything on your own.
You do that to me. Always rushing me to do things.
A Russian you?
Yeah, you.
Or do I Italian you? Like, what's the matter, you?
You want the vodka? You do now.
So you can work at your own pace. When it comes down to the end, you get all the profit, and that's where the motivation for a lot of people is to work alone. When you work alone, though, some of the negative side effects, not side effects, some of the negative aspects to it is it's all on you. Yeah. All the pressure is on you. Yeah. Now, I've had businesses where I work alone. You've had businesses where you work alone. And one of the motivating factors for us to partner up together when we formed Allura Financial, AlluraFinancial.com, is each of us brings something different to the table, but also that motivating factor of having someone else to work with that was really big. We wouldn't have been able to accomplish what we've accomplished with this had we been working on our own.
We bicker on a lot of shit, but we have our respect for each other here in the office.
Yes.
But when you get a good deal and you get it closed, even though you give up, you're splitting the deal, man, it's volume you're able to do that you would not have been able to do without a partner.
Absolutely. The volume that you're able to do, allowing you to focus better, having someone that pushes you.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, like when it comes to working out, they try to work out on their own, but then they lose motivation, they lose direction, and then they quit pretty quick. Then they'll hire a personal trainer. When they have the personal trainer's pushing them. Or if they go and work out with a partner, they've got a partner that's pushing them. Mm-hmm. And you've got this joint motivation going on, so it works a hell of a lot better. So some of the cons with working by yourself is it's all on you. You have to motivate yourself. Self-motivation is a bitch.
Yeah.
It's really tough. You could probably get it going for a little bit, but after time, when you've got a lot of problems and you can't get out of your own head, self-motivation is tough. Another big one with working on your own, 0 days off.
0 days off.
It's all on you.
Guess what else you got to do when you're self-employed and you work by yourself? In order to survive, you got to have consistency. Mm-hmm. Can you consistently get up and chip away at the wall every day for the amount of time you need to do it?
No.
It's tough.
It is. And now a lot of people are going to say, oh, no, well, I don't work the weekends. That's all well and good, but what if you get a phone call on the weekends?
Well, what if, like, example, when we first started this business, we didn't have weekly closings like we do now. Now we have multiple closings all week long.
We have daily closings.
Yeah. But when we first started, dude, we went sometimes 2 months without a closing. It was insane.
Yeah.
Most people would have given up at that point. They would have said, this is not going to work. And
we've had people telling us to give up.
Yeah, no. Remember that? You're right. We did.
Yeah, screw
Don't
that.
listen to those people, too.
No,
I'm glad
don't
we never
listen
listened
to
to
naysayers.
them. We did.
See, and that's another thing. When you work alone, you don't have that additional backing, someone else, saying, no, you could do it, or we could do it. No, you have everyone else telling you to give up. You just need to go find a regular job.
And those people back then were telling us to give up, guess where they are today? Nowhere to be found.
Nope. Now they're asking us, how can they do it?
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
God,
that is true.
I love it when that happens.
You know what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
A little RR, right?
Yeah, well, we won't mention his name.
No names. We ain't got to go there. So working with a team, let's talk about the cons first. What's the negative aspects of working with a team?
You got to put up someone's shit.
Communication.
Oh.
So communication can be tough because not all the decisions are made by you anymore. Mm-hmm. Now it's made by a partner. You have to have everyone on the same page. Another thing is, what if not everyone's pulling their weight?
Yeah.
So if not everyone's pulling their weight, you're having to do more work.
Do you have a stretch or twitch or something?
Yeah, it's damn Tourette's.
The fuck?
So if not everyone's pulling your weight, you're going to have to do a little bit more of the work. Also, when it comes down to profit, you're having to split it. Now, that's where a lot of people are like, no, I don't want a partner because right now I'm only doing 2 deals a month. I don't want to bring in a partner and have to split that.
And you work your ass off, and sometimes your so-called partner's watching YouTube all day. How's the camera? Oh. We won't mention no names, though. Hey,
we all need our mental break, okay?
I didn't say
I
you.
Get good ideas.
What, a little self-confession?
What the? Yeah. So and now let's look at the pros at working with a team. So for one, you get better ideas. So when you have a problem, you can't figure it out on your own. If you've got 2 other people that you can bounce those ideas off of, someone's going to come up with a solution. When you work with a team or you work with a partner, you both are going to bring certain strengths and weaknesses to the table. And now typically those are going to kind of counterbalance when you have to work with someone. So another thing, when going into strength and weaknesses is different skills. Some people have better skills. He has great marketing skills. He's comfortable with getting out there. He's the guy. He's the face of everything. He's on Facebook.
The fam. Look at his face.
Right. He's the one that's going to all the marketing events. He's the one going to the networking events and going to all of this stuff. And that's what brings more deals in. I'm the guy that sits there and likes to process everything. I like to think. I like to use my mind. Plus, working with a team, it's easier to focus because now you can delegate the responsibilities to everyone.
Yeah.
Delegation
We're good at that.
is huge. Yes.
And I'll tell you something, because it took me a while to catch on to the back office behind our 30-year products. 30-year products are a little more technical than fix and flips. It took me a while to catch on to that, but after I caught on to it, it works. Mm-hmm. But the advantage I got is when we bring a deal in, we have processors to handle it. When the processor reaches something that, I can't get flush with this, Mr. Genius here can take over, and let me tell you something. He runs it. Give you an example. I got to talk about yesterday's deal. Don't mention the client's name, but
no.
we have a deal. Client did not have the close to $20,000 to bring in. Didn't have it, and then he got hit on a HUD-1 with taxes from the year 2006.
Yeah.
He said I didn't own the property back then. Title calls the tax company. They said, well, the county tells the title it is what it is.
It is what it is. You got to pay it.
Me talked to the client phone. I said I can do a lot of things. I can massage the loan. I can change this and negotiate this with our hedge fund. But I can't handle the county taxes. I've only got so much pull. Yeah. Well, that's me not thinking outside the box. Brains for shit over here. He says, I'm calling down on myself to verify this. And he calls down the tax office. 10 minutes later, the lady goes, you know what? They made a mistake. He does not owe these taxes. And boom, there's a huge chunk of money brought. He only had to bring $8,500 to the table.
As opposed to $21,500.
That's insane.
So it
thanks to one phone call from ShipBrain.
Yep. And that's where working as a team can really come in and
if I were on my own, that deal would have been dead. And we made a good chunk of money on it. That deal would have been dead because I would have never took that extra step.
So do I get more money out of that, or?
No.
Okay. All right. That's asking too much. No. Don't mess with my money, man.
You know, as I said, ShipBrain, man. I didn't say like Capital Brain.
Yeah. So today, for our first non-defunct commercial break, we've got
Allure Financial, AllureFinancial.com. We'll be right back.
COVID-19 has put a stress on everyone. If you're a real estate investor, you may have felt the strain as well. Let us help you turn your portfolio into, an ATM. Need to cash out the equity in your property? Allure Financial. Need money to fix up your investment property? Allure Financial. Need to lower your payments on your rental properties? Allure Financial. We now have new rates which have been the lowest rates since the COVID-19 shutdown. Call us today and let us see what we can do for you. 833-896-6639. AllureFinancial.com.
All right. That was AllureFinancial.com, your real estate investment funding needs.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yes. Okay.
So,
go ahead.
Now, I want to go into in a little bit more detail as far as, because we talked about having a business partnership and the pros and cons of that.
Yeah.
But when you're in real estate investment, creating your mastermind group or creating partnerships or creating a team does not necessarily have to be a partnership in your LLC.
What you talking about, Willis?
You could still build a team without having a partnership.
What are you talking about, Willis?
That's exactly what I want to get into.
Oh.
So let's talk about fix and flip. Okay.
Right.
So let's say you're a real estate investor and the bulk of your income or the revenue generating activities is going to be fix and flip on your properties. Okay. You want to build your mastermind group. So your mastermind group, and I use this term. This came from Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You've read that before.
Yep.
I've read that. Great book. And he uses that term in there as your mastermind group. So your mastermind group is going to be comprised of a number of people. All of you are going to have a relationship as opposed to a business partnership, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So this way, in the event that you have problems with anyone, you just cut them out. You don't have to buy anybody out. You don't have to do anything like that.
Take a ride.
Okay? So with Fix and Flip, your mastermind group is going to look like this. So you're member number one. You're the actual investor. You're the whole thing is being managed by you. Okay, you're top of the pyramid. Next one on the list is going to be your contractor. You want to have a contractor that you can trust, someone that's bonded, that's insured.
We have a fan in the background.
Yeah, they're listening. Hey, how you doing? So you want to make sure if you're in a state that requires licensing, you want to make sure that they're licensed. Outside of licensing, you want to make sure that they're bonded and insured, because in that event, if something goes wrong, they have the insurance that can cover the liability. If you're dealing with someone who does not have insurance or does not have bonded insurance, if something goes wrong, the repair cost is going to be on you, because all they have to do is walk away.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Another member of your mastermind group with Fix and Flip is going to be your realtor. Now, you don't necessarily need a realtor to find your investment properties, but you're going to want that realtor to sell the house after the repair has been made.
Yeah.
Now, this is where your team can really come into play. When you go to look at a house to review everything to see if you want to buy it, or even immediately after you buy it, you take your team with you. So let's say, for instance, you go, you see a house, looks run down, you know that they're behind on the mortgage, maybe it's a pre-foreclosure, something like that, and you go knocking on the door. The little lady comes out, you say, listen, I understand that you're behind on your mortgage, you're looking at pre-foreclosure, I don't know if you've got the money to get it, but I would like to save you from that and buy the house. Makes sense, right?
Makes sense.
If she says yes, then you set an appointment. You don't give her an offer right then. Say, listen, I'd like my team to come out to take a look at everything, and we'd be able to put a price together. Now you have your team coming out. Now you look legitimate. Yeah, you look like a real deal investor. You have your realtor there, and you have your contractor there. You start to put together your rehab budget on the spot, because your realtor is going to be able to say, oh, a lot of my clients are looking for this, 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 and this, and this. They're going to have their thumb on the pulse of the real estate market and what's popular. Your contractor is going to be right there telling you exactly how much it's going to cost. You can ask your realtor, if I do this, how much is it going to increase the value? How much can you sell it for? She's going to say, well, I could sell it for this much more. Then you could justify, is that going to work in this particular venture? So then you walk out to the truck, you three talk about it, then you walk back to the lady with a proposal, see if she accepts it.
The bada bing, the bada boom, huh?
Now, you've got this whole team put together, and you don't really have to pay them as employees, nor do you have to pay them as partners.
You're still the jefe.
It's a relationship. Also, a number 4 member that you want to have in this mastermind group, you want your money guys.
Allure Financial, AllureFinancial.com.
So you want to make sure you have someone that can finance everything for you, because you don't want to do all this with your money. Use somebody else's money.
OPP.
The whole idea behind
you
it.
down with OPP?
I'm down with OPP.
OPM. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong one. Old gangster song. I don't know.
Funny. Funny. So another partnership. So let's say you're not into fix and flip right now. Let's say you're doing the whole no money down type real estate investment, which is called wholesaling. Let's say you're a wholesaler. You build your team together. So let's say you and your best friend, you're going to go into wholesaling together. One person can do all the research. They can find the properties. They can find the addresses. They do skip tracing, find everything, and then your friend is going to be the one that's beating the streets. They're out there talking to everyone, negotiating. They're the ones actually getting in front of all of these homeowners, while you're the one in the background that's researching and doing everything. Once your partner gets the contract signed, then it's going to be up to you to go ahead and take the ball and run with it and have it sold.
Take the ball and run. Hey, I'll tell you one thing. It's an exciting process when you sell a fix and flip and title wires you $43,000.
Yes.
You're like, man, 3 months ago I didn't have this. Now look what I got. And you're so pumped that you're going to take that 43 and turn around and find you another fix and flip.
I know. It really feels good when you get 5 digits.
Dude, think about this. You know, I say 43. $30,000 to $40,000 is typical profit on a fix and flip. Let's say you make 50 or 60, even better. Let's go with 30,000. Let's say you only made 30. You realize there's some people that wake up in the morning, drive all the way in rush hour traffic to work, 8 hours there, drive all the way home, and don't make $30,000 in a year? You did it in one fix and flip.
Yep. Or as a wholesaler, you're making $5,000 to $10,000 per transaction.
Boom.
You had to put no rehab into
Nothing.
it. You had to put a moderate amount of work as far as doing research of the property and just negotiating a price.
Yeah.
That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
So with wholesale, and I know a lot of wholesalers that work on their own, and they've got a moderate level of success. When you're able to partner up and you start delegating the responsibilities, your volume shoots up.
Dude, I'm telling you, and I'm going to continue saying this. I've always told people, be obsessed. Don't let family, don't let friends, don't let nothing interfere with your success. Because once you obtain your success, they'll all come together. Because I don't care what you say. I don't care for you people that say, oh, money can't buy you happiness and put a hell of a down payment on it.
Yeah.
You got to have money to build the rest.
Well, I look at it like this. They say, money can't buy you happiness, but the lack of money can take it away.
That's been proven, man. Make your money because then you can fix anything going on in your family. It's amazing when there's issues how money solves it so quickly.
Yeah, and we've got another example of how to build a team within your real estate business, which is going to be right after.
This defunct, they are no longer in business. Enjoy this defunct commercial. We'll be right back.
See you, Bennigan. We need this now.
Now?
Tonight.
Like tonight?
Like yesterday.
When you need to
Not tomorrow?
escape from the everyday,
Tonight.
escape to Bennigan's.
This man needs help.
Escape to the people who help you unwind.
Can I help you, Jack?
All the help I can get.
Escape to the kind of food
How's our friend
that
here?
leaves the everyday far behind. Only Bennigan's is your escape from the everyday.
Well, obviously, they didn't build a team because they're no longer around, right?
They should have watched our tax episode, to pay taxes or not to pay taxes. So anyway, another example in your real estate investment business where it is to your advantage to take advantage of a team, and not have to take on a partnership within your LLC, and rental properties.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say, for instance, over the past 10, 12 years, you've been slowly growing your rental portfolio. It's a wonderful thing. You started out with 2 houses, then you had 3, then you had 6, then you had 8, and you're managing everything yourself, which is fine. But you also have a regular 9-to-5 job. Now, your 9-to-5 job's not going away. That's taking your time. You're trading your time for money. And eventually you want to stop doing that. And so
Yep.
you're thinking that you're going to grow this to where one day you don't have to. But when you have 5 to 7 properties, it's not that big of a deal. Let's say you start doing the Allura Financial cash out refis, and you start duplicating your rental portfolio. Next thing you know, you've got 17, 18, 19, 20 houses that you're managing. That's too much for you to manage on your own. Now you're going to struggle doing it, but you're going to have client renters that are calling
That
you saying,
portfolio is very real. We have a client that's cashing out with 17 houses. That's a lot.
all currently paid for.
Yeah.
But 20 houses is more than one person can really manage on their own and keep on a regular 40-hour work week job. That's when you hire property management. You can hire a property management team, and they take yes, they do take some of your profit. I understand. And people are thinking, well, yeah, but I'm making less money. You're making more money because now you have time to continue to build your portfolio, letting them handle all of the rent, finding new renters when the other renter moves out, handling all the repairs, handling all that other stuff. Yes, are they taking a portion of your rent? Hell yes, they are. But they're also taking all that responsibility.
Also, I know a guy named Guantanamo. If someone's late on rent, Guan ain't gonna knock on the door for you. I'm just saying, huh?
I never heard of him, but I should get his number.
You know Guantanamo. I call him Guani,
That was one tomato. That was a little 1-ton tomato. So you could see, and now none of the examples that we just gave you are really the business partnership type. Now, within wholesaling, you might want to set it up like that because if you're going to be delegating and having a team that you work with, you might want to keep everything under the same umbrella. But and when you're creating a partnership with someone, if they're going to be part of your LLC, let's just say it was a best friend, you grew up with them, you know them. Let's say it's a spouse. Let's say it's your brother or your sister, someone you're really close with. And so many people are going to say, no, I trust them. I don't have to worry about contracts.
Yeah.
Listen, getting into business with someone it has the potential of bringing the worst out of anyone.
Yep.
You always want to make sure that you have everything in writing. You don't necessarily always have to get with an attorney, although that would be advantageous in order to do that. You don't always have to do it, but at least get everything in writing.
Hey, some of these people are married and still don't have joint bank accounts. In your business, you got to have a joint bank account with an equal partner.
Yes. And you want to make sure that everyone's protected. If things go wrong, if shit hits the fan, you want to make sure that you do have something in writing that you can fall back on.
Yeah.
Eventually, over time, you may have had one arrangement, and then later on say, we never said that.
Yeah.
And they say, yeah, we did. Prove it.
Exactly.
A lot of people get married, like, no, we love each other. I trust her. I'm wanting to give her my life. And then they go through a divorce, and that's not the same sentiment they have anymore.
You know,
I've seen
it's amazing
divorces
how
get
that
pretty
happens,
ugly.
you know?
So within a business, when you become a business partner with someone, you two are getting married. in
We're
a
married,
sense.
not. How do you
Not
put
that there's anything wrong with it.
We're not gay, but hey, if you are, hey,
That's
happy
fine.
too. Hope you're
Yeah,
happy.
you know what,
Yeah,
hey,
you know, or however
Equal
that
rights,
goes.
whatever it is.
Yeah,
Well,
you know. That's your business, not ours.
not our business. But when you go into a business partner with someone, for all intents and purposes, you are getting married to them. And if you break up that partnership, it's like getting divorced. You're going to have to start separating assets. One person's going to have to buy out the other. It can become ugly. So make sure that you do have a contract between the two of you, at least basic terms. You could put something on Word. You could just type it up. You can go to rocketlawyer.com, although they're not sponsoring the show. It's one that I use.
RocketLawyer.com.
Yes. You go to Rocket Lawyer, and just for about $20-$30, you can have an operating agreement. You can have contracts put together, keeping everything simple because you want to make sure that you two are, or two.
What do
three,
you
or
do
four.
when you're in a partnership and you've been there for a year and your partner's not pulling his weight?
Well, first step is to have that conversation.
And what he says, you know what? I'll do what I want to do.
Well, then you say you do what you want to do, and
I've had this situation. I say that I've had this situation.
Well, what did you do?
I
Could have come up with me with a fictitious
I did.
idea.
I actually told him he had to leave the office because I signed the lease, not him, even though he was in the partnership, and he didn't know all the legalities about it. And I told him we was trespassing. When he wouldn't leave, I told him I was calling the police, and I did call the police, but he left for the threat of calling the police and never came back.
Well, that's good. You handled that like a hard ass.
He was a former football player, too, NFL.
Oh, I remember this story. Yeah. Threw the keys at you, didn't
Yeah, well.
he? Yeah. No, it can get ugly. At the beginning, was it like that, or was he a real nice guy and y'all trust each other?
When you're working 10, 12 hours a day and the guy's taking off every Friday to go golfing because golfing is important, dude, welcome to the real world. We work.
Oh, a reminder for me not to go golfing.
You don't golf. We tried golfing
We tried
once.
golfing
It
once.
sucked. We were both just waiting to get it over with.
That was so hot.
Oh, it was terrible.
We need to go
man.
golfing like in Georgia or somewhere. Maybe
Yeah,
a
it
little,
was
little
just
cooler.
miserable.
Oh, yeah,
but
that
you know,
was
there's
terribly hot.
as a company, when you finally get established, you finally get to where you're a corporation that's successful, and people are reaching out to you. You no longer, you still want to hustle business because I'll hustle business to the day I die. But when you get the comfort that business is actually coming to you on a regular basis, that's a privilege. Man, when you reach that point, it's almost like you got to pinch yourself. This is really happening in life. And cherish it, man. Be obsessed with it. Don't freaking let it go.
And something that I do want to touch on briefly before we bid everyone adieu is motivation and goal setting.
Yeah, got to have it.
Something that's extremely important with any business, especially if you're working with partners, is you have to establish a common goal. I had a sales manager years ago tell me, he goes, how are you going to hit the dartboard if you don't know where it is? He also said, and in keeping track of where you were, where you started, where you're at now, he says, how are you going to win the game if you don't know the score? Those two things I've always kept with me. And having, clear, concise, written goals and a time frame. A goal isn't really worth as much as it would be with a time frame. If you say by the end of the first year, I want us to hit this. So at the end of the first year, you could evaluate everything that you've done up to this point and see where and why you fell short.
He has a board over here with pictures on it. Now, one of the pictures on there is a particular motorcycle, it's Harley, that he wanted to buy. Well, it's parked right out here now. It used to not be there. It is now parked out. It's identical to the picture. So he achieved that goal.
And I've got a house on there. I've got annual income. I've got
You got a picture of me up there too. So
yeah, in a casket. But I'm not holding my breath.
in a casket.
No, but having clear, concise goals and daily reminders of that because you need everyone on the same page. If everyone has different goals, you're not going to be a cohesive unit. You want to make sure that everyone can really work well together.
Yeah.
No, because
There you go.
you and I have had a lot of goals, and we make sure that we're on the same page to have those common goals.
One way to do it, man. Follow Grant Cardone. Be obsessed. Be obsessed. Be obsessed.
Being obsessed is good.
There is no
It
alternative to
It does
success.
need to consume you a little bit.
You either you be obsessed or go home. One of the two. This has been Closing Table Money, guys. We'll see you next week.
Yes, we will. And next week, we're going to have more information
About
our
the
new
radio show. All right.